Hello and welcome to the Drinking Shed.
Hey, I just put on my jacket, sorry.
It's a little Mr. Rogers thing. You walked out here and he's changing sweaters. Anyway.
That's what I do.
Anybody that gets the Mr. Rogers references, old,
yeah. I think they're gonna do a movie for that.
Oh, I saw that.
It's coming out.
Yeah, that's
there's gonna be a whole new
Mr.
audience
Rogers, yes.
for Mr. Rogers himself.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going with that. Anyway, we're having a little bit of a Boulevardier. The only thing we didn't do is we didn't actually put an orange on top, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll do this.
We were lazy.
Yeah, we were a little bit.
But it is barrel aged, so it's not just an off the shelfer. So
that's good. Wow.
You know what the sad part of it is this is all that's left.
Yeah, that's.
These are our containers after they are finished. We put it into this, and now they're almost gone. So a new batch shall be coming forth. Yeah.
So anyway, tonight we're going to talk about mixers and all the different kinds of mixers that we use, the different things we make with them. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list whatsoever, but just kind of talking about, what we have in the bar to mix with and where we're using it. Numero uno.
Campari.
Gee whiz, I wonder where one would use Campari.
I could not guess. I mean, everybody likes Negronis. Well, not everybody. You have to be into the Italian grandma lifestyle. Grandma would always have a Negroni when she was making pasta or salads when she was cooking. So it's really a digestif to kind of get you going before you have your meal. It kind of gets your stomach ready to eat. The Campari, the braciness of the Campari itself was that in Italian culture. So that's what creates Campari and soda, straight Campari on ice, but it's an integral piece
of the Boulevardier.
Yeah, which Negroni is Campari, gin, and bitters. Right,
and all we're doing with the Boulevardier is substituting in a whiskey for the gin.
Campari. Yeah.
For the gin.
Right, for the gin.
Yeah,
sorry.
So not the Campari. So to me, it's a fabulous drink. Actually, the first ones I really had that I really enjoyed were the High West Barrel Aged ones when they were doing those. Remember? The Boulevardier.
Yeah, they did the Barrel Boulevardier as well as the Manhattan.
Yep, those were fabulous. I don't think they're doing them anymore, but anyway.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story. So we do our own and we barrel age our own, so we're good to go.
Delicious, by the way. Gotta have that. The next one.
The Green Fairy. Why on earth?
I'm missing an ear. Who did that?
Mr. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh cut off his ear, and they thought it was because of the wormwood, which was an integral, and is it still an integral ingredient inside of absinthe. So
what do we use absinthe for? For the most part, one drink only. We use a spray bottle, and we use it in Sazeracs.
Yeah, and that's an important piece that he just said, is we put it into a squirt bottle, and we actually have it in a little squirt.
Yeah.
Because what you're supposed to do is, first you're going to pay $30-some for this bottle, whatever it costs. And then they say you're going to put it into the glass, roll it around in the glass, and then just pour it out.
Right. It's like, why?
And we're thinking, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So just put it into a spritz bottle. We just a couple spritz inside the glass to kind of get that essence into it.
Yep.
And then put the cocktail in it.
And as a hint, as Rob said, these are expensive to begin with, these bottles. So what we've ended up doing when we've needed more is we end up buying the samplers. The liquor stores around us sell the little samplers. And that one little sampler, when you're doing a spray, lasts a long time because you're a special kind of person if you're drinking this just all on its own. So I've done it before a lot in Europe where they've done the whole big thing.
Right, but people don't even know, really it's cold water dripping onto a
sugar cube, and then into
it, right?
Yeah.
Which makes a big green.
Fabulous. Yeah, it's fabulous, but it's a production, and that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, so we were at a local beverage store, and people were putting on their very first drinking.
That's right.
Remember? Drinking evening for neighbors to come over. But she had this huge bottle of this. And we're like, no, get the smallest one because this is going to last forever. Because you don't even know if you like it yet. If you don't
most likely you don't.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying most people will not like
kind of like this big boy here, the sweet vermouth.
Yeah.
Which I buy them that big because we do huge batches.
Yeah, we do batches.
Yeah. They also come in a little handy boy.
So for the most part, we're sweet vermouth. We don't do a lot of dry vermouth. And there's
we actually have another one here.
There's what do I want to call it? A religious war out there of should vermouth be refrigerated or not refrigerated.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm of the mind
the death.
that, yes, that it doesn't need to be refrigerated if it's used quickly enough. This cannot set out for 6 months. It's going to go bad. It's a fortified wine, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's out for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I think it's okay. Some people will say, but you taste it beside a fresh one and you can tell the difference. I don't doubt that.
If I'm drinking it straight.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. But when I'm putting it in, a 100 proof something or even a 96 proof something, how much do I taste that difference? I'm not sure until it goes over, so to speak, which would be
if it's sitting in a 70-degree house.
Yeah.
You're okay for a while.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a fortified wine. Put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
If you're really worried about it, just put it in the fridge.
I don't think anybody would be offended if you did, and it would last longer.
But here's the thing: everybody says, "Oh, this degrades." Well, what happens when I make a set of Manhattans that are this big,
right?
And I don't drink them in 3 weeks? Is my cocktail going downhill? Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've got it airtight, so it's not really going too far downhill. But that's something to consider as well: is how much volume of cocktails do you make at one time?
Exactly.
Because we do make big batches because we have a lot of people.
Yes.
And we go through it. So if you're not going to go through it, then get the smaller bottles.
Agreed.
Yeah. But this is a better value when you buy it at this price. So so that's why that's our favorite sweet.
So a couple of vermouths.
Yeah, and this brings us to kind of a weirdo ingredient that's in and of itself, and that is
Benedictine.
Benedictine. Everybody's like, what is Benedictine? What is it? It's Benedictine.
It's an herbal.
Yeah. Made unto
liqueur.
itself.
Made unto itself.
It's Benedictine.
And they'll all have, all the Dom Benedictine has the little red wax seal here and all this. And we use it in...
I forgot.
Vieux Carré.
That's right.
That it goes in there, and I love the taste of this. Quite frankly, I don't mind having a little sip just on its own. I think it tastes great. I really do like it. And it's kind of dusty because for a long time it sat in my cabinet, and I was like,
you cannot make a Vieux Carré without this.
Exactly.
This is the hidden ingredient that's kind of that backbone in the
This and the cognac, right, are the two things that really bring it out. Everything else is kind of secondary.
Yeah, you got your cognac. Yeah, everything together. It's such a big cocktail.
It is, but this just has that taste to it.
If you don't drink Vieux Carrés, you need to make one.
Yes, you need to.
Quickly as possible.
Yeah. Definitely do.
Get your rye, get your bourbon, whatever you prefer. Because I don't make people.
They say rye.
I know they say rye, but I say get whatever you like better, whatever you have. Get your cognac, but then you gotta buy Benedictine. They make mini bottles of it.
Yes, they do. They make the little mini bottles as well.
Yeah, that's important to try.
By the way, that's a great thing to do. I mean, we can do a whole show on that. Buying all the mini bottles if you want to try a drink, right?
Yeah.
Because some of these drinks that you find. They take 9 different ingredients, and you're like, holy cow, by the time I buy the bottles, I'm in $200 here.
Well, that's
you can go down and buy those little ones, right, for $7-8 a piece. Now you're in for $40, and you might find out, this is my new favorite thing, or you might find out, I'm really glad I didn't waste $200 because that's nasty.
Because I really don't like this.
Yeah.
Which then brings us to one of our near and dear ingredients.
Yes.
Amaro. We can do a whole show on Amaro.
It deserves a show.
We will do a whole show on Amaro.
Yes.
But just to cut it short, I used to go to this bar in the Venetian in Vegas, and a guy's got all these small barrels, and he's got 7 different Amaros aging in there in a cocktail. And at the time, I didn't really know heads or tails about that. Now, I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
I just haven't had a chance to go back there. And it's time to do that because Amaros, between 8 and 25 different ingredients into these things, and we have...
What's the Amaro everybody knows?
Jägermeister
is actually an Amaro.
Yeah, that's and now today's trendy one amongst the hipsters of America is Fernet. So there's something to be said here. So let's do this here. Fernet is as bitter as you can get.
Yeah.
It is bitter. Jägermeister, Fernet are bitter. That's one end of the scale. Vicks 44D cough syrup is right here.
Yep.
Next comes the Ramazzotti type Amaro, which is a semi-sweet. Then we get all the way to this Tossolini, which I bought. Super sweet. And we drink this by itself.
Wonderful.
It's so good.
Would not put this in a mix.
No. And then my mom, of all people, who doesn't have a 77-year-old mom traveling through
Estonia?
Yeah, Eastern Europe and Estonia, and bringing you back an Estonian Amaro, which is 80 plus proof Amaro.
Knocks you back a bit.
This, no wonder they're so happy there in the winter.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
That's how you get through the winter in Estonia.
So look at all the different Amaros. There's 100 different Amaros.
Right.
That's what's great about Amaros. And the great thing about the Amaros is, instead of using sweet vermouth, you can substitute, which is exactly why this bottle is down and this is unopened, because I made a batch of black Manhattans where I substituted half of the sweet vermouth with Amaro to bring a richer, fuller flavor to it.
And on occasion, I'll do one where I substitute 100%, and that makes a very sweet.
Yeah.
If you're talking whiskey drinks, a very sweet Manhattan, and just a blacker Manhattan, right, rather than 50-50.
And here's the thing. Don't wimp out and use an 80 proof whiskey when you do that with Amaro.
Because this is big.
It's got to stand up to the braciness, the sweetness, the viscosity that the Amaro is going to bring to the cocktail.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
that looks like used
thing.
motor oil.
Yeah. And that's something we'll have to talk about later.
I think the other things we do, and you could do a 3-day show on bitters and all the different kinds of bitters, and there are a ton.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think we stick with 2 bitters for the most part.
Yeah.
And that would be Peychaud and Angostura.
Angostura, right?
Right.
So
those are the 2 that we use most of the time. Now, that's being said, that's not all we use, right? There we have is that a Woodford?
Yeah,
yeah.
And there's a black cherry, vanilla, and then we have the regular bitters from Germany. So it really depends on the cocktail that's getting made. I like bitters. He likes bitters. So when they always say 2 drops. Well, if 2 is good, then 8 would be better.
Yeah, we're a little bitter heavy because I do like that. And then, of course, making our own.
Yes, which I didn't bring out to the shed today. They're actually inside. But I made rye bitters, which are actually called New Orleans bitters. I made it into a rye base.
Rather than vodka, which is the recommendation, is neutral.
Right. So I made that so I could make New Orleans black Manhattans. Then the second one is a tequila bitter that I actually put into a inexpensive bottle of tequila, which is out here. It's just a cheap bottle of Reposado, and I put all of the 9 herbs into that and let that sit for 10 weeks or whatever it was, and then
it was a long time.
It was a while, and now it's finished, and now I've got these tequila bitters, so we can make a whole batch of tequila/mezcal cocktails and have the proper bitters that are already steeped in the liquid, and it just enhances the cocktail. Yeah. So it's a whole nother kettle of fish there.
And then the really last thing is
wait, there's more.
Yeah, but wait, there's more. The really last thing is the cherries, right? A good Manhattan is enhanced incredibly by the right cherry. Luxardo is kind of the go-to if you can't go wrong. I'm not saying these are the best by any means, but I'm saying if you get Luxardo, you can't go wrong. The syrup that they come in is fabulous if you're gonna put a little bit of that into the mix. But here you have some that were bought.
This was at a distillery in Bend, Oregon. They're actually making their own, and I bought a batch of those. And it's actually sitting and steeping in a batch of their own bourbon.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. These are Trader Joe's.
The Trader Joe ones, yeah.
And they're a fraction of the money of these. These are like $18 to $23. These are $4. These don't have stems. These do have stems. A lot of people don't like the stems. And then
it annoys me to no end. I don't like taking the stem out.
Bada Bing cherries.
Which are great.
Which I like too.
Yeah, I like too.
They're big, plump.
No syrup. It's more of just juice.
Yeah,
it's just juice. It's a different kind of thing, right?
But it does have the stem on it.
Yep.
And you have to refrigerate these afterwards or they go bad. So they're in the refrigerator. So
you can put them next to your vermouth.
And I have Egberts as well.
Yeah.
So look at how many different cherries there are to make different cocktails.
And then there's probably everybody who's watching this is going, wait, I don't have any of those. I have these 3. Right? Cherries are another one of those. Hey, we got a lot of different choices out there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So not only you got to buy the booze, You gotta buy the mixers, and then you gotta buy the cherries, then you gotta buy the glasses.
Then you can go into all your mixing teas. Yes, I'm not kidding. Cocktail teas.
We'll do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do all that mixture on another show.
Yeah.
We don't want to take up too much of your time.
So we just wanted to give you a quick rundown of kind of what we use to mix. Most of the stuff we do as we start going into our cocktails will be taken out of one of these factors. I don't think anything we would do differently than what we've talked about here. This kind of gives you an idea of what we do. Really, all of these are pretty much straight mixes except for the Amaro, which we also sip a bit because of the flavor, the different flavor profiles of all the different Amaros. And I do a little bit of the Benedictine as well. I like the Benedictine sipping as well. But other than that, that's kind of where we are with our mixers.
Yeah, I think we've covered it all.
Yeah.
It's good. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon again back in the drinking shed.
Back in the shed.
Thanks.